But chapter 4.
Chapter 4. Let's do this.
Lost in the woods. Breed, Nomad. Auspice, unknown. Let's face it, it's a rune. Rank, Cub. Tribe, unknown. I was still reading that. Look at that brave. We're at a 10. Has to be an Arun. I was going to say, Cornell, dead. And they actually did put it as dead. Alright. The Heart of the Forest. Name of the game. High Rage. Woo! Back into High Rage. The morning smelled of the forest, fur, and strangers. I slowly opened my eyes. The warm space under the low-hanging branches of an old spruce tree was full of other people sleeping. Their muzzles rested on their paws. I went outside. Or I quietly crawled outside. Just gonna go outside. No need to waste willpower on trying to make sure that other people... Stepping over the sleeping forms, I made my way outside, alone. Hiding in the tall grass, I sniffed around. The sky was bright, and the forest around me was dark and full of interesting smells. High in the trees, birds yelled about status, sex, and violence. I was in danger. Gives me rage. Memories started to come back. It does nothing, or something was wrong with that picture.
I don't think you need the rage, to be fair. I think going with memory started to come back would be a good one.
Okay.
Because I don't think... I personally don't think your character would go with the concept she's in danger. But, yeah. Go ahead.
Memories started to come back. Something opened in my mind and memories started flooding back. The fight, the gunshots, the strange dream about being a werewolf. The creature stirred in bushes nearby, a tall, dark silhouette, a strangely familiar smell. I attacked? Why would I attack?
Yeah.
I don't even know what it is.
I was going to say, you can tense up then.
I tensed up. I tensed up and watched the human as they looked around. Maya, there you are, they said as they noticed me. It was time to get out of there. I spasmed. It gives me the wolf symbol.
Looks like you're going to shapeshift into a lupus.
Or I'm a lupus currently.
Could be.
Was the way they were describing the sleeping.
Yep. No, you're right.
Suddenly, I'm feeling like cramp or spasm, or a spasm surged through me, and everything changed. I was Hamid, the human form. My body started resetting itself into a familiar shape, and it hurt. Bones broke and fused again, muscles and sinews moved under my skin. I cried and thrashed. Then, panting and sweaty, I was human again. I hit the ground. With my bare ass, colors exploded. The morning breeze suddenly became cold, and I shivered. I looked up. Confused, I looked at the person approaching me. Daniel. Oh, he gets to see me naked. I prefer being a wolf, but you people have a thing for being dressed, so he handed me a bundle of clothes. Take them off before you change, and if you survive long enough, Lisa might teach you the right to make your clothes change with you. I took the bundle. It's called the Rite of Dedication, by the way. I know that one very well. I snatched a bundle of clothes and started pulling the clothes on. Sturdy but comfortable boots, cargo pants, a green hoodie. They fit perfectly. Let's be fair. They don't need to fit perfectly. I thought about the previous night. Nope. I thought about the previous night when I was raging through the forest about how differently I experienced the world through the wolf senses and about the discomfort and confusion of changing shape. So, I was a werewolf. Yay, max willpower. Goal, identity, master of change. Or master the change. It was all their fault. I kept my guard, or I appreciated the help. I mean, I get a brave option.
Yeah.
Might as well use it. Brave. Don't come any closer, I bark. You have some serious explaining to do. That's why we've all come here today. We just stood there for a moment, tense and silent. I was wondering how one usually learned that they were a werewolf. But how come nobody knew about werewolves? Or I looked at Daniel with new eyes. And I lose my willpower that I just gained. Willpower. I won't use my willpower. It doesn't make any sense, it suddenly struck me. How come nobody knows werewolves exist? We protect the veil, was the answer. It's easy to convince humans that supernatural doesn't exist. They already want to believe that, and the delirium helps.
Oh yeah.
Unless you're, certain things. What you mean delirium as in the medical condition? I asked, remembering something about that I read about acute confusional states. You'll have to ask Pat about that.
Sorry, my cat just knocked down something, so that's why I made that weird noise.
But the gist of it is that humans are incapable of remembering that they saw a Krynos. He laughed. They panic, turn away, and instantly forget. Every time.
Yeah, basically it is like the medical condition where you get confused.
Then I realized something.
Yeah, go ahead.
They really want me to see Daniel with new eyeballs. And then I realized something important. The wolves had woken.
Yep.
Why is that important? At some point, the rest of the party had awoken and joined us. The clearing was full of wolves. Look. Fight or flight. High rage. The wolves are closing in on me. I saw opening to escape. If I did, I could figure this all out on my own.
Oh, come on. Do not denial. Denial is a river in Egypt.
Denial. Acceptance and cooperation. Seriously, you had nothing. You came from nothing. This is better than nothing.
You had dreams about a forest you never even saw.
You
seriously
pretended to want to be into medicine. So, and how the human form was so interesting. We're going to accept.
Of course.
There's the wolf and the weasel again. Hiding the bodies. The headless body was heavy. They said that as my first kill, it was my burden, and it was my duty to take it to the Burrows. I didn't want to do it, which would give me rage. It was heavy in more ways than one, or I got my shit together.
I think the second one, personally, because it is. I don't know how you killed him, but apparently you killed him.
It sounds like I killed him by punching him so hard when he hit the ground, he hit a rock.
Yeah, but that was a guard.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be the other guy. But I could be wrong. Continue.
Guilt was eating at me. I guess it was obvious. It's your first kill. Accept that it happened and respect it, said Daniel. You're a predator. You're Garou. You have always have been. He and Lisa accompanied me, carrying the severed head in a bag. The others stayed behind, covering the tracks. I had to tell them it wasn't my kill. I focused on the wall.
Tell them it wasn't your kill. Unless...
I'm trying to remember.
Maybe it was the,
There was one that I ripped my head. Or there was one that I ripped.
Yeah, but that was something like pinpricked you. That's the one you ripped its head off.
Yeah.
Go ahead, just say it. See what happens. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But
Vote Cornell being my kill, I hesitated. I don't think it was me. Um, before the change, I saw a black and white wolf at his throat. They looked at me concerned. Cornell was fighting Olga from the beginning. He wanted to lead us all, Daniel growled. He must have pushed too hard and Olga removed the threat. Lisa sighed. We'll talk to her about it, but first, the body. Ah!
Yeah, see? That's what I thought was happening, is the fact that when she attacked, a second group of things attacked. And there was a fight. And you could attack the monsters, which you were thinking was Fomori. You could have attacked the monsters, or you could have just left it.
Yeah.
And you went after the guy with the gun. And I think that's what happened, was that she killed him.
Well, I have...
Go with willpower.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But yeah, see, that's what I'm trying to say is, like, you know.
Yeah. I kept dragging the body, getting more tired and more sweaty with every step.
You could change.
I changed. Suddenly, I knew what to do. Just change.
Yeah,
change,
go ahead.
Oh, ooh.
You could actually change.
I could
choose.
pick what I want to change.
I would go with the Glabro. It would make the most sense.
Slightly bigger, more muscular. Yeah. I was Glabro, the near-human form. The pain was stronger than I'd ever imagined. I felt my muscles spasm as I recharged them, as they rearranged themselves. I can't read today. Oh. My jaw cracked, my mouth full of blood. I clenched my fists and claws drove into my palms. I screamed when I rose, panting and sweaty. I was more than human. I was Glabro, wolfish, strong, scary. It hurt. Plus one willpower. For the willpower that I sacrificed. Progressed goal. Identity. It hurt. The change hurt more than I expected. The world shifted, not much, but enough. I felt my teeth get sharper, my muscles stronger. I picked up the body. It was a lot lighter. We went on. I think I could have also went with Hispo, but...
I think you also destroyed your clothes again.
Whatever. I'd be naked. We went on, but we weren't alone. I realized there were two shapes in the bushes on either side of the road. One bigger and dark gray, and the other small and white. Ah, my companion smiled. I see you've noticed our patrons. Patrons? Or I remember them from my dream.
Yeah, I like that one.
Because I do remember them from my dream. I challenged them. Yeah, we know each other, I said, remembering my dream. We sort of met the other night. The two animals stopped in front of me in the middle of the path. We came here to teach the cub, the wolf, said the wolf. She smelled of ash and tears. Was I hallucinating? No, you weren't. But okay. I couldn't believe what I had saw. It made no sense. I felt as if my brain was short-circuiting, trying to interpret signals not meant for human senses. Because you were not a human.
That's weird.
The wolf was the one that talked. So, of course, the wolf... Like, ah.
Yep.
She's infuriating.
Yeah, go ahead. I just go with the wolf for now.
My eyes told me there was a wolf staring at me, but when I looked at it, I felt ash on my tongue. I heard a mourning howl so deep it reverberated my bones, and I smelled fire. And when it talked, it was like a rustling of leaves formed words in my mind. They wouldn't leave me alone. But hallucinations or not, they just wouldn't leave me alone. The weasel circled me, and before I knew it, I could feel small claws digging into my leg, then on my back, and then on my arm. It smelled of musk and electricity. And then it bit my ear. I tried to shake it off, or I ignore it.
I'd see. Why shake it off? It's doing something, but I ignore it personally.
That rage, though. I'm just kidding.
I know.
Do they always do that? I asked, ignoring the spirit. Speak to me when I am biting you. The weasel's electronic voice echoed in my head. Enough, the wolf growled. Or at least that's what my brain decided to hear. I felt the weasel draw its breath. In the beginning, there was Gaia, aka Mother Earth, and she gave birth to a mighty breed of warriors, the weasel began. It sounded electronical, like a teenager reading a Wikipedia page over a voice chat. They were called Garou, that's werewolves and werewolfish, and their sole purpose was to protect Gaia. They failed, wailed the wolf. I looked at to the weasel for advice, or I looked at the wolf. Does it matter?
I think it's probably something about choices, but yeah, I don't know what they would be. Go ahead. You are a wolf.
There was danger everywhere, shrugged the wolf, and then I looked at her for advice. When time began, Gaia released 3 primal forces upon the earth: the weaver, the wild, and the worm. The weasel continued. The wild was the untamed force of life and creation. The cold, ruthless weaver gave structure to the world, and the worm destroyed what needed to be destroyed, creating balance.
Yeah, I was gonna say, definitely not going with the worm.
I'm trying to remember if werewolves are considered wild or weavers. La, 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 la. They don't create stuff, though.
Say it goes with her. Go ahead. Synthetic winter weasel.
So, were werewolves created, werewolf creatures of the weaver? I asked, enforcing order. They were Gaia's children, the wolf snarled, born to herd and contain humans. So what went wrong? That didn't answer my question. I can see that something went wrong, I smiled wryly. The weaver grew too ambitious and trapped the worm within its lifeless web, the weasel answered. Confined and denied, the worm went slowly insane. The wolf wailed. Now Gaia is dying, choked by the weaver and eaten alive by the worm, wailed the wolf. And you must sometimes fight the weaver, it said in a sad voice, but usually you can reason with its servants. Then it turned and led the way. It took us to the Burrows. Yeah. I need a drink.
From what I remember of the stories and stuff like that, because we do play this system. There was more to it than just that. What happened was there was a bunch of other. It wasn't that Gaia made werewolves to be the battlers. It was that she made everything, a bunch of different lycanthropes. But the werewolves felt like it was their duty because I think they were the first, and they went basically in the concept that they'll destroy the elders, and then they lost control of the humans because the other ones were helping to deal with that as well. Go ahead, Tim.
The Burrows looked just as I remembered them, but somehow calmer, warm and welcoming. Lisa kneeled near one of the mounds, put her hand on it, and whispered a few words. I saw the ground open slowly like a mouth in the earth. I sighed. Let's do this. I put the body in the hole. We took the severed head and the body I'd wrapped up in a sheet and put them in the hole. I closed it slowly, and I could swear I heard the trees nearby sigh in anticipation. The wolf howled and I could feel the hair on my hands rise. It's always the hands. Welcome to your new life, the talking white weasel grinned. We have something else to show you. I ran with them. I had so many questions.
I ran with them.
Yeah.
Why spend willpower?
Why spend willpower?
You're a cub, so you have special privileges, said the weasel. The forest will grant you a vision. You must see to understand, said the wolf. Think carefully before you choose what to see. Theoretically, should you not go from past, present, future?
That's what one would imagine. This way you can see what your debt is.
Yeah. That's what I would go with, but that's me.
Go to the Burrows. Tangled paths. It was hard to find the Burrows, although I knew where they were. When I looked behind me, the path had disappeared. Bushka is friendly. I felt Bushka playing with me, twisting paths, blocking my way with bushes and dead trees, and then suddenly a new path that was straight and full of sunshine. I got tired of it.
No, don't. Yeah, I was gonna say. I think you should just push on. So I think if you get tired of it, you upset the forest.
Determined, I pushed on. Since the change, I had become acutely aware of how my body worked, and I remembered that humans were good at running. Stubborn, ruthless, long-distance running. Not fast as a deer, not nimble as a wolf, but steady and without rest. So I ran. And then I was there. And then I was there. The Burrows, I climbed the nearest hill. When I was at the top, I stumbled on something, a shape in the grass, a skull watching me from its bleached eye sockets. I touched it. I want to touch it. Ah, the bird passed. There is a swirl. It starts deep within me and then expands. Everything is in motion, but there is no center anymore. I see a bird. I see a forest, or I see a village. I don't see a bird. Personally.
The only thing I can think of is the bird's the thing that's legitimately underneath the text, which looks like a werewolf growling, though not a bird.
Yeah.
So yeah, go with the village then.
Oh. Village. There is a village in the forest, and there is a howl of a wolf. People stop and look around, frightened. The howl is like a keen. The houses are mere huts. There is almost nothing that protects the people from the forest. Their clothes are rags, and their feet are bare. Their hair and long beards are unkept. There are wolf cubs. There are wolf cubs. Then there is blood. Then the howling begins, the mournful, blood-curdling keen of a mother who lost her children. Watch, whispers the voice in my head. Watch and remember. But I want to act. Brave. I cannot just stand by and watch. I want to act. Those cubs had no protector, but I can save others. The forest listens to me. The forest wakes up, erupts with rage, and powerful furried bodies surge through the trees toward the village. The humans try to escape. They scream and beg for mercy. They try to protect themselves with fire. I take the fire from their hands. Master of Fire. Level 1 Homid gift. The guru rises up. their talons red with blood, their eyes glazed in fury, and the fire is yanked from the hands of the villagers. I have no options, so I'm just along for the ride at this point. The houses start to burn. I make the wolf mother happy. The keening turns into a howl of joy. I am there from the very beginning. The Guru have my eyes, my face. They are my family. I am the blood of their blood. I am part of the story from the very beginning, and I will do it again. And I get a rage. And then it happens again. The humans return. They rebuild the village, this time stronger and better protected. The keening begins once more. Then we, the Guru, come down on them like the wolves on the fold. And again. And again. New villages, new fires, more blood. And again. And again and again and again. Seasons change. Centuries passed. The keening continues. Villages in the forest burn until one day there is only one Guru left in the family, and he slays his own kindred in a fit of his first rage. I know him, or he never forgives himself.
Both I know him first.
He is young, but I recognize someone in him. An old man I know. He used to tell me stories about the forest before my mother took me away. I can't move. I stay there and I watch, but I can't move. My throat burns, my stomach is in knots, and I want to scream, but I have no mouth. I feel the fire, I smell the blood. I smell the ash and tears. I see the large ash-gray wolf looking straight at me. Her eyes are golden. She weeps. It is in your blood, she says to me. It is your duty. It is you. Come with me, child. Be my fangs, my claws. Well, she says fangs and claws. Mine was better. There is no one else to be my cub. Come with me, child. I will nurse you, and I will lick your wounds. We will kill together, we will feast, and we will be merry. The forest will grow. I looked at her, and perhaps for the first time, I saw her for who she was. My rage is high. Her pelt was marred with fire. Her eyes were smoking embers. Ash was falling from her heaving flanks. She looked old, ancient, seething with anger. She was morning incarnated, or she was Kazan's mother.
You can go with whatever one.
It doesn't really say why she had her 6 cubs were left there. Daniel didn't tell me the whole story.
Yeah, well, I guess you're learning. So, pick one.
I guess morning incarnated, since I have no way of connecting that to Kazan.
Okay.
She was the very idea of morning made flesh, driven by the feeling of loss so profound that it burned everything in its wake. But she was more than that. She was also the Pushka, she was more than one wolf, or she was the darkness. I'd say she was also the Pushka.
Okay.
She was also the spirit of the forest, the Pushka herself, wounded, hurt, violent, and mourning all her children and that humans had killed. At least that was what I thought when I looked at her. The wolf mother looked back at me, something in her eyes and made me realize she was helping my family for generations and that my family used to serve her. Join me, she pleaded. Only you can understand me. Only you. Yeah, I went to her. Why would you run like your grandfather did? Or father. Somebody. So I
Morning
went to her.
wolf, loyal.
I went to her and she accepted me. And I accepted myself. Progression goal mystery. My family was serving the Wolf Mother. And finally, I understood who I was. Darkness fell again, and a bloody tide was loosed upon the world. Darkness. One of us. A lone howl pierced the silence like a single ray of moonlight in the darkness. Then there was another one, and then another one, and then another. A choir of voices, triumph and joy. I opened my eyes.
And you're fully healed.
I'm back up to... I'm fully me. When I opened my eyes, I was in a clearing. Around me, there were wolves, huge, monstrous wolves howling at the moon. I joined them. Burrows, just like me. No, you joined them. Did I get to choose? Or does it, like, automatically put me to Hispo? Instinctively, I changed to join the choir. I was Hispo, the monstrous wolf form. The pain was overwhelming. My spine cracked and twisted, my knees and ankles broke, and I fell on the ground. My jaws shattered and rearranged itself. My whole skin was on fire, rippling and spouting fur. Sprouting fur? Sprouting fur. I howled in agony. When I rose, panting and spitting blood, I was Hispo, with strong paws, mighty jaws, and a mane of fur. More than a wolf, scary and monstrous. My voice was unsteady at first, but soon I had found my own note, a unique addition to the chorus. Well, hello there. Daniel Kenobi! Just kidding. Well, hello there, Olga smiled at me, and welcome to the Sept. Every time. The what? The Sept, whatever that meant. Or I just listened. That would lower my rage. Ah.
Which one are you gonna pick?
I guess I'll just go with the Sept, whatever that meant. Okay, just so you know, I said slowly, I have no idea what a Sept is. Yay, that's about what I wanted. We live in packs, Olga explained, and when packs unite to fight a common enemy, they form a Sept. So there were 2 packs there. I realized that there must have been at least 2 packs there. Well, shit. I look at Olga, I looked at Cornell's friends. Not happening. I looked at Daniel, I looked at Lisa.
Well, you can pick Daniel first.
Daniel, come rescue me! Hi, Maya, said one of the wolves, changing into Daniel. He looked more real as a wolf, confident and relaxed. Olga and Lisa stood up, human-looking again, their clothes rumpled. We are the pack of the Morning Wolf Mother, said Olga. They smelled of ash and tears, and for a moment I saw the wolf spirit among them. I looked at Cornell's friends. Only option. A young and black wolf changed into Pat, and Kim her moments later. We are all that's left of the winter weasel pack, said Kim. The white shadow settled on Pat's shoulders. I smelled musk and electricity. We are all Gaia's warriors, said Olga, in that we have no choice, but we can choose friends who stand by our side. I can choose brave and say who was the enemy. Did I have to join a pack? Or I had so many questions.
Who was the enemy? It sounds best, yeah.
Yeah. Brave option. If there's a war, who's the enemy, I asked. Cool! Schmidge? Smige?
It actually does say how do you pronounce it a little bit later on.
Worm? Zmi? Zmi. The word Daniel said sounded like Zmi and reeked of decay and burning oil. The worm of destruction, the worm, the destruction. Olga translated corruption, pollution, cancerous diseases, devouring reality.
You can go with so many questions. I don't think you're going to ask pack.
Yeah, no. I have so many questions. Had so many questions. I shook my head. What about the moon? Has every sept that diverse? How do the spirits work? Well, shit.
Yeah, go ahead.
What about the spirits, I asked. How does that work? The spirits cast a shadow and we call it the Umbra, said Lisa, and in the shadow every living creature, every emotion and idea, every important object exists as a spirit. That's all you need to know at the moment.
Okay. What about the moon?
Why did I hear the moon whispering to me? I asked. Luna gave us rage. Is why she's important, Olga said. And that is why you'll never be able to touch silver again.
Unless you're super awesome.
Yeah. As a looking at you.
Yeah, because Tammy's werewolf actually can touch silver. He's immune to it, which is really mean when you're like, oh, I can hurt you with silver. Oh, God, I didn't hurt you.
I asked about the sept. You are from all over Europe, I noticed. Is it like a standard for a sept? I looked at Olga. I didn't even know if that was a stupid question or a smart one. I looked at Olga. Normally the tribes keep to themselves, Olga grimaced. But we are in a desperate situation and had to form rather unorthodox alliances. There are at least a dozen tribes, Daniel interrupted, and I hope, Maya, that you will choose yours wisely.
Okay, now you have to ask.
Do I have to choose a pack? I asked just to make sure. No Garu can survive on their own.
Theoretically, you have a pack. Relax. Tammy looked at me like, Aslan can survive on his own. He has a pack, so she needs to send some shirts.
You will probably never see your family again anyway. I was born a wolf, and I've already lived 3 full wolf lives. If you're a human, you'll probably get killed within a few years. I summed it up. So if I got this all right, I've been conscripted into an ancient war against the worm. I said slowly, trying to put them all together. And the moon gave me rage as a weapon, but I must avoid silver. I took a breath. And there's a whole secret world of spirits, I continued, and I have to join a pack and choose a tribe. Exactly, Lisa nodded. As for the tribe, there's only one person who can mentor you now. That Cornell's dead. Olga is from the Black Furies. Explains a lot. An ancient tribe of women warriors. Strong, save Gaia, fuck patriarchy vibes.
Yeah, no, it makes a lot of sense when you realize that she's probably the one that killed the other guy.
And the fact that she's very supportive of
women, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's actually weird that Daniel's got such a high spot in it.
He's not going for leadership.
I'm just saying, it's weird that he has such a high spot in it because the Black Furies, if I remember them, are
Yeah,
very female.
men are considered breeders, and that's it.
Yeah. What about your? I want you to ask about your. Yeah. Okay, you're gonna ask about your family's tribe.
Yeah. Whoa. The Shadow of Fenris. Great. Hey, what about my family's tribe? I asked. Lisa winced. Daniel sighed. Olga shook her head. What's the matter? I asked again. Your ancestors were the Get of Fenris, and no one here wants to have anything to do with that tribe. Kim bared her fangs. They stand against everything we believe in. My grandpa had nothing to do with that. Were they really that bad?
I'm not sure what the fuck the Get of Fenris is.
They are considered the descendants of Fenris, Loki's son.
Yeah. Okay.
And they're quite mean.
Okay.
They're not like the red Talons where they'll pretty much try to attack humans on sight, but they're not friendly.
Okay.
Usually.
Okay. Pick whatever one you want to.
I guess I'll pick the. I don't want to really pick the high rage, but because I don't technically know what my grandpa did other than.
Yeah, it's okay. You're learning.
They surely aren't that bad, are they? Get of Fenris are the most radical Guru Suprematics. Did I say that right? Supremists? That ever marred the face of Earth, Kim scoffed. Like legit fascist werewolves. Some of them literally worked for Hitler.
Okay, according to White Wolf Wiki, Fenris, they were fierce warriors with little room for mercy or compassion. The Fenrir viewed themselves as great heroes, but have been known to shock other Guru with their violent ways. That's just a quick little summary.
My options are how could they judge my family, or I had the right to know my legacy.
You had the right to know your legacy.
Thank you for telling me. I said I had the right to learn about where I came from. For a moment, we were all silent. There were a lot of werewolves there. Or I need to know more about the tribes. I feel like I need to know more about the tribes. I don't want to blindly just be like, oh, sure, I'll be a Black Fury. Like, I highly doubt Daniel is a Black Fury, but I don't know. I wanted to learn more about the tribes to find an option that would really resonate with who I was.
So talk with Daniel first, because, loyal.
Daniel!
Yep, go ahead.
Daniel is loyal. I asked Daniel if I could join his tribe. What? Shit. But he didn't understand the question. I'm a red Talon, he said, as if that explained everything. Great. Cool. I guess I'll just go fucking jump off a cliff then. Bye.
Yeah. That's actually kind of surprising. So that's why
he's more comfortable as a wolf.
Well, not just that, but it also makes sense then why she's okay with him being around. It's because he is not of her tribe.
Yeah.
So because
she still would view him as lower.
Yeah, but because he's red Talons, if no one really understands, they hate humans. They love werewolves. If you are basically anything besides a werewolf or a wolf, you're inferior to them.
Yeah, they have nothing to do with Hamid form. Ever.
Yeah, they're not huge on humans or even kinfolk. They're kind of blah on.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna ask him what red talons are, because
Yep.
this character does not know. And what are the red talons? I asked Daniel. It is the tribe of the Garou who are born as wolves, Daniel explained. We usually don't mix with others, and we kill humans, but since I'm the only one here, I decided it was better to just join the rest.
It's a wise decision.
It's better to have a pack than to be alone, I said. He nodded. There is always strength in numbers. I protect my folk better when there were more werewolves around. Your folk? Wolves. I started to get who he was. I asked him about his wolf mother, and that's all I wanted I wanted from him. Oh, I stared to get who he was.
Yeah, I think it's a typo. Or unless you're actually staring at him to actually see what you can see.
Yeah.
Try that. See what it does. Okay. Yep. We can read it.
Daniel sniffed the air. His nostrils moved in a very non-human way. I was looking enthralled. Was he a wolf? Are you a wolf? I asked. We all are? He made a face.
I was a human, yeah. Yeah, that's what I would go with.
No, we're not, I corrected him. I was born a human. For a second, his eyes were full of disgust. Yes, I was born a wolf, and then,
Oopsie.
yeah,
Yeah, I fucked that up. I'm sorry.
when it turned out I was not a wolf, I was disgusted. Uh, going around 2 legs, soft and helpless. Who really wants that? I didn't want to have anything to do with humans, but Lisa comes one day and talks to me and brings me to Olga, and I think, well, they're not that bad, and they have stuff. Stuff is nice. I like stuff. He sniffed on the wind again. Besides, he said, I can show them the Bushka the way I see it, the way the wolves see it. Once they see it like that, they never come back to their old ways.
To ask the wolf mother. Why not?
The morning mother? Daniel fell silent for a moment. She's Kazan's mother. God damn it. She became a spirit after his death. But I knew she was older than that.
Yeah, okay.
It's impossible, I said. She must be older. Much, much older. Daniel looked up and then shrugged. If you say so, he answered. I still like her. She knows what it means to be a wolf. And that's all I wanted from him, since now he obviously is disgusted with my human fleshiness.
Yeah, he's a little lower than... He was loyal, now he's just friendly, so... You want to talk to Lisa next? Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can not fuck this up.
Lisa is sympathetic. I asked Lisa about her tribe, and she inherited her Sibarak legacy from her Buryat grandfather. She said she didn't know the proper legends, customs, and cultures to join. Cool. How did she become a werewolf? What? Was Serbiak a Russian word? I asked her about her wolf mother. How did she come to Poland?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I asked, not sure how to approach the topic. Siberak. I mean, you're from Siberia. I hesitated. Lisa smirked. But the tribe name reminds me of something. Yes, Siberak. She pronounced it differently, so it sounded like a Polish word. I must have heard it before.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sure I've heard that before, I said. It in in a different context. In Russian, it means someone from Siberia, but in Polish, it has its own very specific meaning. Lisa explained it's a word for political prisoners exiled to Siberia, and there were tens of thousands of them. That's a terrible name, so why was she using the name? And which meaning did she prefer?
I would go with that one, personally. You became friendly with her.
Which meaning do you identify with, the Polish or the Russian? I asked. She smiled. My tribe name describes both of my legacies. My granny was a political exile, and my grandpa was a Siberian indigenous. I used it because it speaks the truth.
Okay. So yeah, I would just go from the top down. Personally, if you want to learn everything about these people.
Hopefully, this doesn't bite me in the butt. How did you become a werewolf? I asked Lisa. My grandpa saw that I had a soul of a wolf and started teaching me about the spirit world. She looked at me with her violet eyes. When the time was right, he guided me through the change.
I would go with the second one option. Because saying that one the top one may cause her to not be happy about
Yeah.
what you were, but yeah.
My grandpa was telling me stories, I sighed, but I forgot most of them. I forgot how he looked. You remember more than you realize. She said, how else do you know the high tongue? That was a good question.
Okay. So yeah, go ahead.
What about the morning wolf mother? She's mighty and powerful. There is a tone of deep respect in Lisa's voice.
So if you're wondering why I said yep, go ahead to her all the time, it's because Tammy's just trying to like make sure she's not missing up options. She's trying to she's also slightly indecisive and stuff like that. So I'm just trying to encourage her, make sure she understands. Go ahead.
So who was she?
She also waits for me to perhaps talk.
Tell me more, I asked. She is old, very old. We don't know when she first appeared. I think she is the avatar of the forest. The avatar? But what did she want? I'll go with the avatar. Lisa seems to at least enjoy talking to me, so... The avatar, I asked? The emanation, the embodiment, like she actually is the Pushka, you know? She's powerful, she knows stuff, and she is really... Lisa halted, looking for the words. She knows how to find her way into people's heads. Lisa looked at me for a moment, deciding what to say next. I respect her, but sometimes I think she gets into Olga's head too much. Olga lets her in, the wolf pushes, and I don't know. Maybe it's the right way to do things now. I knew that. I didn't comment. I was afraid of the wolf mother.
I would go with the first one, to be fair.
What, I knew that?
Yeah. Like, trying to tell her, I knew some of this information. Like, it was in my head. Rather than the other two, because that's kind of weird.
She's been talking to me a lot, I admitted, and I agreed to help her. So I can ask her how she got to Poland, or if that's all I wanted from her.
And you actually went sympathetic with her, so I think that lowered her.
Yeah, she went from friendly.
Yeah, so she doesn't like the fact that you talked to the wolf mother. It's interesting that you're learning these things about these people. Yeah, go ask about Poland. Yep.
So how did you get here, I asked. Lisa being sympathetic. Well, my grandfather was from the old tribe from up north, proper North Siberian. Her voice was trembling. But we were spread around the world now because old Siberia is gone, melted, rotting. Well, I came here in search of a better life through the forest. Illegal. I still wait for my papers to be sorted. She wasn't exactly hiding.
Yep.
Aren't you afraid they'll catch you, or you are not? I searched for words. You aren't exactly hiding, I said finally. Nah, Lisa shrugged. You know, I do things here and there, help with the tourists, help with the forest, and my moonshine is the best in this province. Besides, I made a pact with the spirits. They watch over me, distract people when they get too nosy. That was all I wanted to hear from her.
Yep.
Didn't get anywhere. Thanks, that's all I needed
Yeah.
for you at the moment.
You can talk to the other two, or just you don't have to. But
I
you
should, but
law of talking,
yeah,
of reading.
it does get a hole in my throat. So, Kim oh, told me a lot about bone gnawers, urban werewolves fighting for the disadvantaged and the marginalized children of the rat. Did they really have a rat as a patron? I asked him about their story.
I would go with you don't want to spend willpower, so especially on this.
Do you really have a rat as a tribe patron? I asked. Sure we do, Kim answered. It's a very good patron and resilient. You want to be like a rat, always managing, always afloat. They kept talking. And this shit here, they gestured around, this shit comes from prejudice and from exclusion and from greed. Take greed and prejudice away, and 90% of the world's problems are solved. They sighed heavily. Now, tell it to the other guru, and they look down at you because you're a bone gnar, and they think they are superior. Prejudice everywhere. Cool. Didn't go anywhere.
That's fun. You learned what she was basically,
Pat.
and that's actually taking away your willpower. I didn't even realize that. Talking to them
Pat was a glasswalker,
makes a lot of sense.
and her tribe was finding its niche in cutting edge technological cityscapes among the strands of the weaver's net. It sounded intriguing. We talked for a while. What was she doing in the forest? So you are basically a city dweller, I observed. All glasswalkers are. It's our natural habitat. I feel quite out of place in the forest.
That got my interest. It's probably the better choice. Also, for the record, I think that is the alternative path. You go towards the glasswalkers, because if you go towards the glasswalkers, I believe there's some achievements based on the idea of doing stuff with social media. Go ahead.
Is it a tribe thing? I asked, interested. That's what it is. She nodded. We use the weaver to fight the worm, and the forest is not the weaver's domain. And I happen to be quite fond of humanity. They have great potential. I don't want to lose any more willpower.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Finally, I stopped asking. I had to think over what I had learned. Didn't really want to talk anymore.
Yeah, that's fine.
No, I didn't want this guy. But I was too exhausted to bug them with personal questions.
Okay.
There are a lot of werewolves here. One thing is bugging me, I said. Why are there so many of you here? Suddenly everyone in White Tower is a werewolf, or what? You know nothing, Cub, Olga laughed bitterly. A mere century ago were dozens of packs in these forests. But no one of the old guard survived the 90s, Lisa shook her head. We had to start from scratch. Not counting you, there were only 5 of us, and now and only 3 local, Pat pointed out. Barely enough for 1 pack. Anyway, before you're admitted to a tribe, you need to prove yourself. What? Now? Or what now? Prove myself? I asked, shocked. I hadn't proven myself enough already. Rite of passage. You went through your first change, Pat said. She was leaning on a tree nearby, and you know everything you need to know at the moment. But you have to go through the rite of passage. Daniel rubbed against my flank, excited. A vision quest, Kim winked at me. And since you don't have time for tests, we need to solve a real problem, Olga stepped in. Namely, we want you to find a way to end this logging problem, Lisa wrapped up. So, how would you like to do it? They all looked at you with anticipation.
I would like to state for the record, it's like, so we need you to do a rite of passage. We could get you to just, do stuff with the force like you have been. No, 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 no. You know what? The best option? Solve this problem that we can't solve.
Yeah. Normally a rite of passage isn't something as insane as, yeah, take lead on this project.
Yeah.
It's more like, hey, go do this minor task. Come back. Alive, preferably.
Yeah. Well.
I took my time. I rage. I took my time, enjoying the moment. My body was buzzing with energy, ready to shift shape on the slightest sign of danger. My mind was clear. I knew what to do.
Yep.
Yes, willpower!
Get your willpower back.
Progression goal, identity. I knew exactly what I wanted to do. We had to stop the loggers, we had to cripple the logging operation, and we couldn't back down.
Do you want to cripple it or do you want to stop it?
Well, the problem is I don't know if that's the people's or if that's the equipment.
Yeah, I think it doesn't really matter. Because again, crippling it, that's one of the problems is that you don't know what they're going to eventually do. But crippling it just stops it for the time being.
Yeah.
Stopping it is what you probably want. So, just saying.
Okay, well, I'll go with stop the loggers.
Okay.
Brave. We have to stop the loggers, I decided, by any means necessary. Kim looked unconvinced. Never mind the loggers. Kim made a dismissive gesture with her hand. We have to inspire the protesters. I continue with my plan. We have to arm ourselves, both us and the human protesters, and fight the logging, I continued, not metaphorically, physically. Olga nodded with approval. I know someone who can arrange some explosives for us. Daniel beamed. Spoken like a true Arun. I bet you were born under the full moon, weren't you, Maya? How did you know? I looked at him surprised. How did you know? Or how did he know? Brave. Mom always told me when she gave birth to me, the full moon was shining through the window and she couldn't take her eyes off of it. I nodded.
There you go.
Da-da-da-da.
Yeah, see, that's where you actually get to choose. Like, with you, like I told you earlier.
Yeah. You're right, I nodded. How did you know? Guru, born under the full moon, are warriors and leaders, said Olga. You're just like me. Just like you and me. It's a path of glory and honor, added Lisa.
Your place in the werewolf society will be determined by your renown. You can earn glory through defending mighty enemies and succeeding in a dangerous quest. You can earn honor by following your moral
Imperative.
Imperative and upholding the laws of the Garu. You can earn wisdom by acting effectively and thinking well before you act. Your renown will change as you play, contributing to Maya's legend among the Guru. I don't know what I said rude for, but Garu.
No pressure at all.
So one of the interesting things is the fact that Tammy has 2 glory, 1 honor. Wisdom is not usually a thing that Rune get much, So because of that, what's going to be interesting is she doesn't need as much wisdom, but she'll need certain points to get wisdom, because you need, I think it's like something like, to get your next level
I
of,
think I need one wisdom.
I don't think it's the next one. I think it's the one after that, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I felt overwhelmed. Olga must have sensed my confusion. Come on, we have a lot to discuss. She patted my shoulder. And we have to find your phone and wallet. So I followed her. I nodded and followed her. I had to tie up loose ends in my old life. Back to the beginning. I'm sitting on a bus. The sun streaming through the window, and it's making it hard to see. A narrow road cuts through the dense old forest. My mind wanders. I remember doing something important, walking among the trees, looking for something, losing something I loved, gaining something unwanted. But then I finally awaken, the memories scatter away. We're almost there, says Anya. I did some searching. She looks at me from over her phone. And this place is amazing. The last primordial forest in Europe. I'm excited to be here. She's such a dork. And I can't remember. It can't be the last one.
I think you're, to be fair, the way you've been playing the character would be the first one.
But that's not what she said at the beginning. So I'm wondering if it's something's happening that's making it see if it's wanting me to try and change my choices.
I don't remember you ever reading this out before, so.
No, but being on the bus.
Yeah, it's fine. It's just. I think this may be either a memory or this may be another little vision. Just, yeah.
I know, right? I smile. I can't.
Wow.
I'm not able to finish. I start to cough. I spit blood, or I try to stop. I have more health than I do.
Okay, go with it.
Willpower. My throat is sore. My lungs hurt. I need to get out. Anya, I need help. I need to stop the bus. I guess I'll go with...
Okay.
I rage. I hit the window and it moves. But it doesn't break. It's gray and dull, and some of it stays in my hand, or on my hand. The substance is sticky and makes my skin itch. Spiders.
Okay. This is weird.
My hand is crawling with thousands of tiny spiders weaving their webs around it, and with tremendous speed, the whole bus is filling with them. I fight or I try to get out.
I think fight personally, but that's you know.
I try to fight them, but they are too small and there are too many of them. After a few seconds, I'm covered in cobwebs, unable to move. There is a hiss.
This is usually in White Wolf terms. Spiders are bad because spiders don't give a fuck what you are. They will kill you.
Yeah. Not to mention they're the weavers. They're the ones that actually, like, deal with the...
But nonetheless, spiders
yeah.
are usually classified as worm tainted because they'll eat anything. And yeah.
I hear a hiss, then slowly a long, dark, bloody shape comes out of Anya's eye socket, pushing the eye out. A black snake that reeks of rotten meat, acid, and oil. Don't fight, Maya. You're already mine. It says, just like your grandpa. And then it kisses me.